So before I say anything, this is going to be a bit of a different video. If you're someone who's been on my channel a lot, you're used to edits and music and whatnot. None of that. I'm not going to do any of that. This is more of a serious video, just talking about and bringing attention to the fact that SIU has released a new blog post talking about the hiatus. So this video is not going to be monetized or anything. Basically just me getting the message across, and so that more people are aware of what's happening. So first of all, if you haven't read the blog post, the link is in the description. I highly recommend reading it because I'm not going to be reading it or really out. I'm just going to be summarizing the gist of it, but please read it. Maybe I'll read the very end, but it'd be better if you read it for yourself and then come here and then I'll share my thoughts on what SIU is talking about. So pause the video, go read it. Okay. So SIU has been on hiatus for a few months now, since late June, so almost 3 months, maybe even 3 months, because there was the Bitcoin chapter, not the Bitcoin, the Webtoon coin chapters and all that. So he's been on hiatus for a while, and hearing him talk about it, he's been able to do some great things. He's been able to visit with some people he hasn't seen in a while and sort of recover and recuperate. We know his wrists and his back have been aching, but he's also been going through some hard troubles. So his grandmother passed away recently and his grandfather's ill, but also he talked about that. The main thing he mentioned was that his assistants, a number of his assistants, who I'm sure were a huge help to him, quit suddenly. So he had to hire new assistants and train them. So that alone explains why he had to take such a break. But the hard part is, because he's on break and, you mix in COVID in there or whatever, because he's not releasing chapters, he still has to pay his assistants and for the studio. So he's still in financial, he also has some financial problems. But the big part about this article, or this blog post that SIU wanted to address, was himself as a writer. And he talks about in detail how he feels like he hasn't been satisfied with the work that he's been putting out. Essentially, I mean, that's sort of what I'm gathering. He feels like when he writes something, he goes over it over and over and over again to make sure it's perfect. But I think that's just been draining on him. Combine that with the fact that there's another post on Reddit, I'll link that in the description as well, that shows some graphs. And if you think about it, the length of each chapter since the Name Hunt Station it's grown drastically, dramatically. The chapters are about twice as long now as they were back in season 1 and early season 2, Workshop Battle even. It's crazy. And he still releases them every week, So he's got medical problems, financial problems, stress, and the fact that he's sort of coping with himself as a writer. He has some things to work out, and that's great. I'm glad that he's not just keeping that inside while trying to release chapters. He wants to be the best writer and artist, the best writer that he can be. And he mentions how even though he knows that he's successful in terms of success, he still doesn't feel satisfied. He feels like he's not as great as he could be. And so he's working through all that, and I can't relate on that much of a level, but I'm sure a lot of us who create content can relate to the fact that you doubt yourself. And to SIU, it's that times a million. I mean, Tower of God is the biggest comic on Naver Webtoon. So it's especially if you count Korea. So it's stressful, and he didn't write this article to make it sound like he's depressed or anything, but he's just clarifying what the feelings that he's going through, and he's not in the best state of mind, but at the same time he's not in the worst state of mind. And he's even said he feels grateful for all the people who are excited for it to come back, And he's excited too. And he said he's going to come back. And he just, he just needs to take this time. So I'm going to read the ending, the last few sentences here. He says, "Above all else, I'm always sorry for all you guys waiting on the work. I feel like I'm always falling short as an author. I don't know how much longer it will take, but I'll rest well and I will come back when I'm ready and the time is right. As the fall cools, keep yourselves healthy, and I hope you guys have good weeks coming. I hope this word can give you guys a peace of mind in waiting for my return. I will try to spend the weeks with a peace of mind as well. I always hope that you, my readers, are happy when you know that when we know when I'm coming back, or if there's some other good news, I'll be sure to post another notice. Thank you." SIU is the best. He's really the best. He really does put us first, and he's always put us first. Thank you to the Reddit people on Reddit, the blog post translators who posted it here and everything. You guys are incredible. I know there were some other translations that were not as accurate, so this is definitely the translation to stick to for you guys watching this. But yeah, he's coming back. He's going to return when he feels ready. And we don't think he falls short as an author. I think Tower of God's only gotten better and better. And when he's ready, he'll come back. And I think we should take some solace in that. He's not going to rush out anything or put out anything until he's ready. And I think that's honestly fantastic. But that's it. Just a video to let you guys know this is happening. He has updated us. Again, I highly recommend checking out the blog post for yourself. And all we can do now, I know a lot of us are missing Tower of God, but all we can do now is support it. And we can do that by tweeting about it, talking about it, getting into discussions and all that, supporting content in general, and liking the chapters, of course, on Tower of God. All these little ways help keep Tower of God alive, and the flame keeps burning, and it's going to come back stronger than ever. I know it is. I'm really excited. But until then, we'll see. And if you want to keep that Tower of God love inside of you alive as well, there's a lot of content out there on YouTube. I'm not the only one. XXMeliosXX does Tower of God chapter reactions. The Apostles of Anime are also doing chapter reactions, AOA. And I talked about a couple days ago, Haku of the Tubes does Tower of God content. There's a lot of us out there. And if you support those kind of videos, or you make those videos yourself, that really does keep the fandom and the love of Tower of God alive. So, that's just another way that you can do so. And like for me, myself, and my dub team, we're starting our first episode 0 prologue of season 2 of our dub this weekend. So it's, that's supporting things like that, and doing that yourself, and all the things I mentioned are ways to help when it comes to keeping Tower of God relevant and alive. And I'm so sure that when it comes back, it's going to be just as amazing as ever. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Go check out the blog post. I'll see you guys next video.